everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So it is Monday, so that means it's decorating day. So I'm just going to jump straight in. Oh, even flip to where I need it to. Straight in and grab out my week. Just move this off to the side. Lost my little ones from last week. So my idea this week is to use a bit of a black and copper kind of theme. We'll see how that goes. I have had an idea of a way to use some of these quote cards that you get from Kikki.K that I don't use as often as I need to, and this one is particularly poignant this week, so I'm going to take advantage of that one. So how I'm going to start is I'm grabbing a stack of paper squares that I bought from Kmart. I did a haul on these a long time ago. I'll link the video down below. But basically I'm just flicking through here trying to find something black that's not too busy, like these. I'm trying to, where'd it go? Those stripes are really nice, but when you pair them with washi tape it suddenly looks a little bit much. So I'm just trying to find, there is like a blackboard type one that I really like. There it is. So I'm going to use this piece. And I'm just going to grab my paper trimmer. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this almost in half. I'm not getting any kind of, no, it's not even in half. I'm not using any kind of ruler or anything. This is all just offhand or unmeasured. We'll just see how we go. So I'm just cutting that little bit off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just a little bit off here. I'm just going to make sure that my quote card still fits, which it does. So I'm just going to move it a little bit over. Go. So that's going to be what's going to make our little pocket, for want of a better word. So it's going to sort of sit down here as a kind of a side pocket thing. So what I'm doing is just folding it in half. And you'll see what I'm doing now because I'll show you. Fingers crossed I did this right. So it's just going to sit in like that, and I'm just going to put washi tape down the side to actually hold it in place, and it'll sit just there like that. So I'm going to use this copper kind of washi tape. This is from the Kikki.K Christmas Washi Tape set, which is no longer available. If you can find it, you've done very well. But I just really like the colours, and thankfully it's not one that's particularly Christmassy, so you can't really tell. So I'm just cutting just enough to stick this in place. So all I'm doing is just putting half of it, I'm not sitting close enough to it, but it's okay. Just put it halfway along, keep it as straight as you can, stick it down, and then flip it over and use it to actually tighten that off. And then do the same thing on the other side. So it doesn't really matter if it's not, just flipping that over so I've got the good side on one side. So it doesn't really matter if you don't have this line particularly like perfectly straight, you'll never notice it, so it won't matter. Go. So then you just cut off the excess on the bottom and the top. And then what you should be left with is this little envelope. If you've not quite cut that properly, you can see that opens up completely. If you haven't quite done it properly, just grab yourself a Stanley knife and just cut that little bit there so you've got that opening. And then your card sits in like that, and then you can punch your holes down the side, which is what we'll do in just a second. I'm also going to decorate this with some stickers as well, so we'll get to that in just a second. So I'll just put that off to the side for a minute. So then what we're going to do is grab some zigzag washi tape. I think this is from Kmart, but I can't quite remember. And just do a basic down the side kind of job. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. That's what it looks like when I've done the washi tape. I have deliberately left a gap there. I want the white to be there, so I've left that there. So sorry, I'm just having a brain fart moment while I'm thinking about what I want to do next. If you wanted to, you could run either this copper tape or the copper glitter tape that you guys have seen me use before. You could run that down this side just to give it a bit of extra pop. I don't want to this week. I want to avoid glitter as much as I can. I really want to use the copper that is a part of a couple of these collections instead. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just jumping, sorry I'm too quick for myself, into the Inspiration Paper Lovers book. Just so you guys know, something I heard too today, the Inspiration Paper Lovers book is now no longer available online. So if you do go to a store and you do find one, grab one because they're just about done. However, there is a brand new Paper Lovers book coming. I will link it down below. It is amazing. I'm dying for it, and the second I find it, you will know because I will let you know, and I will do a walkthrough as I do all the others. So stay tuned for that. I will grab it as soon as I can. So I'm going to start with the black and move to the copper afterwards. So I'm just going into the black part at the back. And I'm just grabbing out a couple of cardboard bits and pieces. Don't want to use that. Wow, don't like it very much. Just grabbing out a couple of bits. And I'm going into my little mini planner. And in one of these envelopes I keep a bunch of stickers that aren't sort of, like they're in sheets. And I'm just going to grab some of the ones out of this one. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to grab my hole punch and just go through and punch all these holes out. And I'll be back in just a sec. Is just put this where I want it. I want it to line up with the washi tape as best I can. So I'm just going to put it where I want it to start with. And then flip it over. Just grabbing any pen. Just going to punch these holes out. This is going to be really close to the edge in some cases, so you just need to be careful that you don't accidentally hit the edge. Here we go. I'm just lining these up now where they're going to go. This is going to be reasonably simplistic. I don't want to go too over the top with the black because it can be a little oppressive. You can open it up and go, holy moly, this looks a bit much. So I'm just tidying up these edges. Make sure they're nice and pretty. I'm deliberately not popping the holes out in these either. I want it to look like they're just normal shapes. I'm going to put those two just like that. Then I'll stick down a sticker on top of that in a second. So I'm just grabbing some tape. I had one somewhere. I'm just going to flip this upside down because it's a bit easier to work with. So just running the glue down there. Just putting it up the top like that. And just sticking it down. And same thing with the circle. And I'm just going to grab hold of one of these copper stickers. So these were the They came out in the mindfulness sort of set, well not set, but the mindfulness collection. And I've never got around to using them, but they are really pretty. So I'm just going to trying to use the more copper ones to try and bring in a bit of that beautiful shine. So I'm going to put that one there. Try and put it as close to being in the middle as I can. I'm going to grab this one here. What I might do, I've just had a thought. Grabbing that little bit of offcut from that chalkboard, and I'm just going to use it to kind of tie this together a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just grabbing this sticker here that says you can do anything you set your mind to. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it right down the bottom, but still leaving a bit of black around it. Damn it, that's not straight. Okay. Once it's stuck, you can't do anything about it. And I'm just going to cut this. Because that's not straight, it doesn't really matter if this isn't perfectly straight, but I'm going to do my best anyway. Do it this way. Okay, so you can see it's not quite perfect, but it'll do. And I'm just going to cut that end off. Just tidy this up. I think I need new blades on this one again. I swear I only just bought them. And I'm just going to cut out this corner as well so it keeps that sort of banner shape. Kind of like the banner. This is just to add a little bit of extra. I just think the white on the white was going to look a bit sad, so I'm just going to put that just there. So again, just getting the tape, trying not to get too much of it on my desk, and I'm just going to stick it just above the Wednesday line. Okay. So I'm just going to grab a couple more of these coppers. Trying to bring a bit more black into this. It's kind of starting to lose it. It's always the hard part when you're looking at it going, something's missing but I can't work out what it is. I'm just trying to think what is still missing here. I don't want to use more washi tape because I think more washi tape with the especially with this is going to be a bit much. So what I've just gone and done is I've just gone and got the Christmas Paper Lovers book, and that's going to sound really ridiculous, but I actually think this might do the job. So what I want to do is just grab, this is bunting. I'll never use it for that, so we're going to use it for something else. Try and rip this one out as carefully as I can. This is using the black and copper, so I'm taking advantage of it, if you could say that. Also going to grab that copper one because it's got no Christmas connotations whatsoever. And then just going to grab this one here. So what I want to do is going to put this up the top. I'm just going to bring a bit more of the black into it, and I'm actually going to write in February, basically right over the top. You can see through there. So I'm just grabbing one of my pens and I'm just going to copy, like basically trace it straight through. I've got really terrible handwriting, so won't look Kikki.K-ish, it'll look actually ish. So also going to grab that copper circle. I'm actually going to move this off and just have it turned around just so you can, even though I've got that in the middle as my sort of focal point, you still have to kind of imagine what it's like when you're looking at the other side. I'm going to use these triangles down the side. I'm just going to stick them on like that. I just like the way that looks, I don't know why. I do some weird things. This one's going to sit just below, and I am just leaving deliberately just a little bit. I'm not putting it right up against the edge. And this one's going to sit and point basically on that line. I like the way that sits there. I don't know why I do, but I do. I'm just trying to find somewhere. I'm going to put just another circle inside the circle. Again, sounds very silly. So I'm just looking for somewhere to put this one where it's not going to be too much. Because you don't want to ever overpower it. Out of tape. There goes that one. Good thing I've got like 50 spares. I'm just going to put that right there. Deliberately avoiding the hole just so I don't have to punch it again. Then you can sort of see it peeking through there. So I'm just going to put just a couple of little stickers just sort of around place, just to keep bringing a bit more copper into it, and also to tie these triangles together. I'm really not proud, that's not the right word, but that was good thinking to have remembered to go back to the Paper Lovers book. I should never have remembered that. I just want I was going to put a little heart there. It's my nephew's birthday on Friday, so I'm very excited about that. And I just want one more little hooray because it's his party on Sunday. I just don't know when yet, so we'll put that there. So then we need to go ahead and do the actual planning parts of the week, because you can't just do the decorating, as fun as it might be. So I'm just going into my little stickers, just getting my net balls out, get the ones that I've already taken the paper off. So we'll put one on Monday, one on Sunday. Don't know yet what time netball is, so I'm just going to write, I don't know what time it is on Sunday, but I do know what time it is on Monday, so I'll write that in. I'm just going to write in a couple other bits and pieces that I know are on. Basically it. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I can see anything there that I want to add. So that is my week in my planner. I hope you guys like it. Again, it's reasonably simple. It's not massively over decorated. I think too much decoration tends to take away from the planning part of it, which is kind of the point. So it's reasonably simple. If you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions on other ways I could decorate, I would love to hear them, so please leave me a comment down below. If If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Otherwise guys, I will see you again really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.